Okay, so I'm Grasswalker. Hello, welcome back to the Group B section of this tournament, which is the 2022 Bot Masters, presented to you today by Cheese Balls. Buy them in shops and put them in your mouth and eat them. On the Radiant side today we have Ultimate AI, and on the Dire side we have Bot Experiment, Credit, Furious Puppy. We've just shortened it to Furious Puppy. You should be able to see them at the top of the screen. Let's get this lobby going and see who can get off to the start that they want in Group B.
All pick.
Furious Puppy are the favourites coming into this combat, this skirmish. However, we've seen from other groups that being the favourite does not mean that you're going to win. An Oracle pickup for Ultimate AI. Now that is ballsy.
Razor.
We've got Phantom Assassin, Oracle, Kunkka, Dazzle, and Lich. That is a very support-heavy lineup. I'm not sure who their third core is, or if they're just doing a duo core lineup. Opposing them on Furious Puppy's side, we have... Never mind, the screen's taken it away from me. I saw a Tiny, I can assure you that much. We'll have to wait until we load in. We've got Tiny, Razor, Dark Willow, Shadow Shaman, and Bristleback. Now, we have seen Tinys, Shadow Shamans, and Bristlebacks picked in this tournament before, but they have not had very good success, to be honest. Let's keep an eye on these starting items. On the Dire side, we have everybody's picked up a Circlet and Tangos, and then each person has picked up something, and that something is the second half of one of those starting items, like a Null Talisman, a Wraith Band, or a Bracer. Meanwhile, the Radiant side has completely opposite philosophy. We have 3 sticks, we have 8 branches, there's not a single branch on the Dire side, Tangos, and the casual Windlace on Lich. We've got some aggression looking like it's about to start bottom, but they don't find anyone. The PA happy to sit under the tower before her creeps get there. Sure enough, that sweeping movement that the Dire side just made, it was to look for someone out of position, but they don't find it. It looks to me as though these Dire bots are here because this is where the bounties used to be. However, the bounties got moved here. I won't say recently, but I will say the word recently. Looks like Oracle might be the mid laner. That's a very spicy pickup for Ultimate AI there. I'm gonna make a stand here and say, listen, not only are we a good bot here, but we deserve to win. With an Oracle.
The battle begins.
Like they're gonna pick up these bounty runes. That's 2 to 1, because the Dire Hero's not updated for the correct positioning. Then again, Shadow Shaman, you can see it because of the ward. Tiny will have to pick it up at some point during the laning stage, maybe when he comes for a water rune, assuming that he's scripted to go for water runes. Tiny mid is a very classic hero. He's a very strong, bursty, dangerous hero. See what he can do. Last hits, immediately Oracle gets on the board with 1, doesn't let the Tiny get close enough to get 1. It looks like Ultimate AI off to a good start. Mid lane is looking to be 1 already. As far as the first wave is concerned, because Oracle has gotten all 4 of these CS, and Tiny, 0. So it's a little bit of a crush match. This Oracle is a ranged hero, scaring the Tiny out of the lane, and he's just not able to get in there, get some CS down.
Fate cannot be denied.
Oh, he's thinking of getting some denies in now. Misses 1 CS, but other than that, this is 2 CS, but other than that, the Oracle's perfect here. Let's take a look top. We've got Razor with the Dark Willow, should be favoured against Kunkka Dazzle. However, you never know with the bots. This Kunkka might start cleaving them down, causing them regen issues, they might start running out of tangos, but they look as if they should be okay here. If Kunkka tries to get aggressive, you can static link him, the Dark Willow can put down her little maze and put a stun down. And then on the other side, assuming that Dazzle has Grave skilled, there probably shouldn't be any deaths coming from the Radiant side here, because they don't have like any slow damage. It's not like there's a Viper or a Venomancer that'll tick you after the grave if you get away. Let's have a look at this last lane down here. We've got Bristle Shadow Shaman. That's a very aggressive and cruel off lane. PA, not the strongest laning hero, and we can see that she's a little bit forced out of the lane. She just gets quilled and Aether shocked, and she's forced to walk the really long way around. Meanwhile, though, the Dire heroes aren't laning. It's the Lich who's getting the CS and denies whilst the PA's chased away. It looks to be... Oh, Aether Shackle? Not Aether Shackle, sorry. Just Shackle. Looks to be a little bit of a crushing for the Radiant side so far. Their CS is considerably above the other side. This Oracle is hitting double digits, the Kunkka hitting double digits. Meanwhile, your Razor, Tiny, and Bristlecores have 10 as of 3. All 3 of them together have 10. Oracle has 10, Kunkka has 10. PA almost has 10. We've got Shackle's bot, forcing the PA out, but she is CSing okay. So this chasing behavior is not getting them the creeps that they need. Still chasing. PA grabs that bounty rune. We've also seen, however, from other games in Group B, or other game in Group B, there's only been one, having a good laning stage does not mean that you're going to win this game. We saw a huge gold lead of 6,000 to 8,000 slip through the fingers of Extreme Push as Cancer AI took mid-game fights. It's a different setup this time because both teams are buying items. So it looks like these might be the 2 of the stronger teams in this group, as both of them seem to be having a bit more of a normal game of Dota compared to, we shall say, the shitfest of Cancer AI versus Extreme Push. Strong farm on the Radiant side, not good farm, but it's not farm that you'll be disappointed with. Lich is the squishier of the heroes. Bristle has the mana to keep quilling him. He's got 4 stacks and he's dead. First blood caught on camera by me, the observer. Round of applause, please. This could be second blood. That's 5 quill stacks. He's just too slow. The boots first from the PA. The wand choice is really working out for them against Bristle. Fight recap, first blood for Bristle. That gives him his wand. Razor. Going in on the Dazzle. Saw a low health hero in the corner of my eye. Doesn't have the next plasma field for a long time. So he'll have to decide against that one. Ooh, that was a very, very brief static link. That's not what you want from that. 65 mana wasted. And now the Razor... His lane's a little bit more awkward because he just doesn't have mana left. It's a tough one to call up here because the Razor slightly behind on the CS, but has 5 more denies. And then the Willow and the Dazzle both contribute not too much to these lanes. So with all things being said, I would say this lane is looking to be an even top. Mid lane is an absolute stomp. Oracle is trashing this Tiny. They have a combined 30 CS to Tiny's combined 3. The levels are equal, but Tiny is not getting the start that he needs to take over this game as a fighting hero. He would be wanting to have upgraded boots, bracer, bottle, the whole shebang by now. Bristle is up here. Furious Puppy really wants this kill, but that's a big ask. 5 minutes into the game, diving tier 3s. Are they gonna get the kill? Salve's up. Shadow Shaman, you're in too deep. Salve's not gonna save you, buddy, and he dies to the tower.
Gold from my chest.
In terms of action, bot lane is currently abandoned, which favours the Dire because the siege creep is about to do 600 damage to this tower by my calculations. Bristle getting chased, but PA, she does have 2 quills on her. Bristle eats a tango, gets a couple more quills in her, and that's going to be a rough situation. Oracle, however, is level 6. Tiny also level 6. Tiny had an opportunity to get some CS in, but just sort of didn't whilst the Oracle is away chasing the Bristle. He should be getting, for example, this ranged creep at the very least. The bottom tower goes to just under half, a bit more than 600 damage as the Shadow Shaman turns up, keeps the push going. So tower advantage. Oh no! Oracle dies to Tiny? That's one way to get back in the lane. You lose the lane on CS, but then you kill him and you get yourself 300 gold. That's worth, what, 7 CS, give or take? It also takes it away from the Oracle. 50 gold on the death timer. Razor, the only hero that's really having a good lane of farm. The Bristle, not CSing, got a kill. The Tiny, not CSing, got a kill. There's the Shackles onto Lich. Here could be the second kill. There's the Hex. Bristle, does he have enough mana to keep this chase going? Oh, the Aether Shock from downtown! Now PA's on the run. She's got 2 calls in her, but Bristle's out of mana. Should be okay here. We've got a fight happening here. Razor, he's low, he's stealing the damage. The Tomato takes out the Kunkka, but it's not quite. It is the Razor that gets it.
Will fall like rain.
So, Furious Puppy Bot's showing superior fighting. 4 kills to the 1, and the only 1 kill was Puppy getting way over aggressive on a Shadow Shaman and dying to a tier 3. I think I called it I think I called it a tier 4 when I was casting that live. And now I know that it's not. Oracle now looking to have lost middle lane. The level advantage is going to Tiny, who's about to go in. Nukes the Lich, puts both Lich and Dazzle quite low. And then please take this CS, please. He doesn't. It's easily denied by the Dazzle. Tiny comes in for the kill. Oracle dying to the tower, turns around Tiny, stuns Shackle, it's over. Whatever lead that Oracle did have is gone. Thing just fell off again. Alright, what do we got here? Tiny going in on the Dazzle. Superior combat skills, 1 more punch. They don't have mana, they're gonna have to let it go. Shaman, he learned from his previous mistake. He died to a tier 3 and now he knows, listen, it's a little bit too far to chase for stuff like that. Lich getting chased by the Razor. He has static field. This guy is dead. There's the kill. Dominant fighting from Puppy and dominant farming from Ultimate AI. Razor, the only hero who is making good CS. 25 CS, top of the chart, 15 denies. Bristle, looks like he's got a solo kill on this PA. She's dead. Bristle farming PA. 200 gold for him, minus 50 for her that she lost, but also minus another 30 to 40 of passive gold she's not picking up whilst she's dead. Keeps this PA further behind. We'll switch to net worth, have a look. It is anybody's game. Got the 2 farming cores, Kunkka and Razor from top lane. Got a push going here. Oracle, who farmed mid, is now within 100 of Tiny. Tiny is here, he gets the stun on Lich, but it's 3v1. Oracle diving the tower again, you're just too deep. Now Dazzle's too deep. Grave? If he doesn't grave, he's gonna die. Oh, he doesn't grave and he's dead. 8 kills for Puppy, only 1 for Ultimate AI, and it was a suicide to a tier 3. Stun on the Kunkka. Are they gonna dive? Toss back? They're diving, but they're not tossing back. He doesn't have mana. They're coming in though. Razor with the ult. Kunkka can't tank this. Oracle's the next target. They switch onto him. Lich is the next target. They switch onto him. Everybody's low, but nobody's dying. And they back out. Catapult and Dark Willow hitting on the tier 1. Kunkka shows his face. Ooh. And he's dead. Meanwhile, the mid tower is dead. All the while, Oracle wants to pick off this Bristle. Can't quite get in range for Fortune's End. I think he's in range for Fortune's End. Dazzle in deep. Grave. Don't pick this hero if you're not going to grave. Oracle dead again. Furious Puppy showing why they're the favourites. Their farm wasn't great, but their fighting is a league above Ultimate AI, who is yet to take a kill. They're yet to kill someone. They were there when a tower killed somebody, but they haven't killed anybody yet. EA just trying to get some farm bottom lane. She has recovered. She's back now in the top 3. Take a look at her CS. It's above 20. 10 minutes. That's not good. Lich caught the tail end of that one. taken out by 5 heroes mid. Dazzle's next on a list. Ooh, they clean up the illusions. They weren't sure which one was real. Dazzle's still
This should
there,
make my life
though.
easier.
Dark Willow, she knows where he is. Dazzle falls. 12 kills for Puppy, but the gold lead is barely there. Oracle runs in. Doesn't do anything. Bristle can chase. Keep the quills coming. 1 quill stack. They give up on it. They find Kunkka, who runs out from the trees. Huge stuns on him. Throws the tree. Doesn't get the kill on the Oracle, but they do finish off the Kunkka. Now they're hitting this tier 2. Meanwhile, EA farming up a storm. Got 5 CS in the last minute, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for bots, that's a decent amount of CS. We should be able to see the net worth. PA now in number 2 spot because she's farming and not dying. What is she building towards though? BKB rush, perhaps? Got drums up on the Kunkka. Other than that, I don't really see any full items picked out. The Razor is almost at his Dragon Lance, but he's not quite there. Lich, Kunkka, they're thinking of cleaning this up, but they're only level 5. It's the hero levels that are letting them down the most. Dire's just so much higher. Dazzle, he's not 6. Kunkka runs in. Dazzle's dead. Kunkka's next on the list. Lich, he's trying to farm the Serpent Wards, but they're killing him.
Dead.
Lich, he gets out, he survives the Serpent Wards. He does farm 3 of them, so that's 60 gold for Lich, but when you've got 1700 gold in your back pocket, what do you need that extra gold for? Tiny, chasing the PA. He's level 10, she's level 7. Centaurs are hitting them both. 2 heroes here. Oracle not really using any of their spells. PA runs under the tower, not keen on that. And Ultimate AI has to back off. They're not going to get their first kill today. Or in that exchange, rather. They might get their first kill today. They're playing 3 games. Hopefully they do. Furious Puppy pushing mid. They want this tier 2. They're aggressive with their pushing moves. But Kunkka runs out from the trees. Shackle onto Dazzle. They're all quite low. The Bristle's throwing out quills. Bristle, he's very low. Couple more clicks. He does die, but at what cost? You've got your first kill of the game. You did kill the Bristle, but your whole team is dead. It was a 4v4, 4 die for the Radiant side. Tiny kills a tier 1 in the meantime. Forces PA out of the lane. The net worth is looking stompy now. PA has taken over as the top hero on the Radiant side, but what is she going to do with this net worth? Shadow Shaman's hunting. E and Tiny can definitely kill her. She's walking around at 500 health. Tiny throws the toss. Doesn't have mana. Ooh, backs off. Razor's going to see this Dazzle. Dazzle's still level 5. 15 minutes in, these heroes aren't leveling up. That's another kill. Lich runs in, shackles himself. He's next on the death list, and sure he is. Oracle runs in. Next to die, it seems. Not using any of their spells. Maybe don't pick Oracle if you're not going to use the spells. And this Razor is huge. 15 KDA. No deaths. Flawless game from him. Tiny chasing down this PA. It was foreshadowed earlier. That fight, 3 kills, 1k gold swing for the Dire side. Pushing mid. Tier 2 soon to fall. Bot tower, it'll take some damage from this catapult, but not very much. Lich and Dazzle finally hit 6, so we have ultimates in the game. They're not spaced. Lich could absolutely bounce a Chain Frost. If he survives long enough to... There's 3 heroes down, none of them cast any spells. Now they're chasing into the base. They want the Oracle. They really want the Oracle. Furious Puppy happy to dive tier 4s. Bristle dies to tier 4s. Definitely went a bit too far. Another 1k swing. As we see the superior fighting of Furious Puppy take what was about a 2k gold lead and reverse it to a 5k lead the other way. Oracle scares them off, but then leaves the safety of the base. Tiny stuns them up. That's 2 big hits. Throws the tree and they just survive. Razor's low, Tiny's out of mana. This could be a good fight. They're not using their spells is the trouble. I don't know if I've seen... Actually, I'm not sure if I've seen a single spell be cast from Ultimate AI. This could be their problem. Maybe they need to just pick heroes with passives. Tiny cleans up the Lich on the back line.
That's for me.
Dark Willow, hunting. Hunker runs into the Tiny. That's 1 bash. Here comes the second. 3 mana. Ooh, I think they could have kept chasing that. Dark Willow and Shadow Shaman kill off the 1 hero that was having a good game on the Radiant side. Hunker a few too many deaths, and now PA. Second death of the game.
Gold is a great conductor.
Looking at 4 heroes on top. Dark Willow is the only one that needs to catch up, and then we're looking at a full-on stomp. Fight recap.
Wish fulfilled.
Bedlam cleared up. PA. Another tower dies.
Has fallen.
Furious Puppy. Keeping the pressure up. They're not letting Ultimate AI get away back into this game. It looks like we are cruising for a bruising. This looks to be, unless something rapidly changes, an easy win for Furious Puppy after a little bit of a sketchy laning stage. But they got what they needed. They got levels. They got Razor farmed. Bristle killed the PA. They did what they needed to in the lanes. They just didn't farm nearly as well as they could have.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Ultimate AI is gathering 4 mid, but they have not taken the tier 1. Meanwhile, knocking at your door, looking for a Rax, is Furious Puppy, putting the pressure on. Saying, what's your response? PA, split pushing bot, she wants to get this net worth up. Conquer farming mid, but they do give up on the Rax. I think they could have Raxed them there, but I think they see 4 heroes mid. They can see them due to the creep wave, and they're like, we should go wipe them. It's 5v4, we can see PA's bot, let's clean them up. Tiny, Avalanche, Bedlam, here it comes out. Aether's shot, wards drop down. It's an absolute massacre in the mid lane. Triple kill for the Tiny, 1 of the kills goes to the Razor. They trap themselves in their own wards, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's just a massacre there. The Bristle never actually got a chance to do any damage. A single quill hit 1 person once. Other than that, the Bristle did not need to be there. Turned up, got his 90 gold bounty. And now they want mid-racks. Push is in. Damage. Tiny will clear buildings out really quickly if given the chance. Fight inside the base. Huge avalanche toss. Throws the tree. Dazzle dies to the Bristle. Tiny right-clicks. Shadow Shaman's trying to run from the Kunker. Baits the Radiant squad out of their base. That's Oracle cleaved, tossing the Bristle into the Conquer, and it's 4 more kills to the Dire side. It cost them a Shadow Shaman, but I think they'd be happy with that. 1k gold, again, trending towards the Dire side. They just need to hit these buildings. Razor's looking a little bit stuck mid. I don't know if he knows what to do. Just need Tiny to hit this. He hits it hard enough. Grab a tree, buddy. Then you'll push. Building damage bonus, 70% is what he needs. Toss, throw onto the Lich. That's their combo. Tiny's throwing the Bristle in, and Bristle doesn't mind being in. Tiny tanking the towers and 3 heroes is going to clean up this Dazzle. There goes the Dazzle. Tiny's getting really low. Throws out the Avalanche. The Oracle dies too. Tiny does fall. So do 3 heroes and the Rax. This seems to be the story of this game. The fights are just so strongly favoured to Furious Puppy. Crushing him. 20 minutes, Rax falls. A huge improvement on the last game. 50 minutes when that game ended. Kunker sneezed on. Quills, sneeze, quills. Get a right click on. 1 more right click. Ooh, he runs out. Kunker's going back in. Quill Spray is still up for a good 5 seconds. This catapult with this launch will kill that Rax. Mid-Rax finished. Bot lane pushed in. Shadow Shaman should put his Serpent wards for this, I think. EA just wants to farm, but she's going to find a Bristle back. And he's going to sneeze on her. Oh boy, is he sneezing on her. She's got nowhere to go. And she is dead. Ward's dropped. Huge waste, in my opinion. Razor's like, we're not going to let you get a tier 1 for free. He should click his plasma field now to really declear it. The wards are good from the side of Furious Puppy. They have decent vision of different staircases and entry areas into jungles. Not relying on the basic pitch cliff wards, but putting down some spicy stuff. They found the Kunkka, sneeze, stunned, Bedlam way off the mark. Bristle can club him down with his little truncheon mace. What is it, a flail? Meanwhile, Tiny and Razor, your two main cores, the mid and the safe laner, they want to push top. They can see that this tower is at half health. Meanwhile, the tier 2 falls bottom. Huge wins across the map. Furious Puppy at this point. It's really their game to throw, but I don't see how they throw this. 5 heroes bot trying to save the PA. You could grave him, but they don't use their spells. They just right click. If you're just going to right click, pick right click in Heroes Bristle, running in, clubbing down the Oracle. Onk, triple kill for him. Make it the quad. He's not going to go for it though. Rather push bot. Oh, he'd rather push mid. Clean up the creeps mid. He takes over now as the highest net worth hero in the game after receiving 700 gold for that fight. Kunkka pushing out bot, trying to save the racks. They're hitting the tier 4s. Not sure if that's the right choice, but if you're at the point where you're 15k gold ahead at 24 minutes, maybe you do just say, actually, let's just end it. But it looks like they are transitioning to a top racks push. Chasing the Dark Willow. This gives me reminiscence of the CM bait where one hero just draws them all out. They're all out of the base now. This is not where they want to be. Avalanche onto the Lich. Clubbed dead. Echo Saber on Tiny. He clubs real hard. They're starting to pick up their real items now. Sanjunyasha, Dragonlance, Force Staff, Blade Mail, Aetherlens. The whole shebang. This team's getting it done. And don't get me wrong, Ultimate AI is building good items. PA's been working on this BKB for the past 20 minutes, but they're just not coming fast enough. They're losing too many fights, dropping too much death gold. And even if they got certain things, if you're not using your spells, you're not going to win fights. Especially with heavy spellcasting heroes. Kunkka will get away with it, PA will get away with it, but Oracle, Dazzle and Lich without their spells are worthless heroes. If you're not clicking your spells, you're not going to get very far. Dark Willow roots up 2 heroes, 3 heroes in the mid lane. That means that the Rax is free. EA trying to push out bot, get some farm in, but her net worth is just 6,000. Dire side, they've acknowledged that these heroes are too far out of the base. Huge avalanche, cleave, punch, echo saber, and finally 3 heroes die. Buyback from the Dazzle, but he's not going to achieve anything with that. Lich is on an adventure. Purchases himself an energy booster from the enemy shop. P8 farming. She has the BKB. This is what they've spent the whole game working towards. And in, I think, this little creep wave here, she gets this range creep. She has her BKB on the courier. But it's just too little, too late.
Middle tower has fallen.
They're losing the base, they're losing the tier 4s, they've lost 2 lanes of racks. This team is more than willing to clean up these tier 4s and end the game sub 30 minutes. It's up to PA to come in with that BKB and stop them, but I don't think she's even going to try, maybe. She has 5 TPs, she could use one of them. Toss, catapult, crushes the Lich. Another kill there. They're being herded back into the fountain. Razor thinks about fountain diving. That would have been spicy. Razor plus a giant creep wave. Looks like it wants to finish off the Ancient. And that will be all she wrote for this game. An absolute crushing from Furious Puppy. They got outfarmed in the lane, which made me think that Ultimate AI was going to do well, but then Ultimate AI You can pass a laning stage with just right clicks, but you can't pass the mid and late game without using a single spell. Ultimate AI, if you're going to do that, you need to pick different heroes. 5 kills on the board. They came pretty much solely the factor of Kunkka and Oracle. I'm going to give Oracle the MVP because they crushed the lane against Tiny. But that was it. That was the end of their game. Then I feel like the MVP for the Dire side, it's got to be Bristle. He crushed the PA in lane, got first blood on her, kept her out of the lane, didn't let her farm, didn't let her get any items up, and ran around getting triple kills all by himself whilst pushing. That guy was a champ. Let's have a look at some of the graphs. We can see that there was that initial lead for the Radiant side, Ultimate AI. Looks like it got to about maybe 3k of the lead. And a 3k lead at 8 minutes is quite big, which made me think that Ultimate AI was going to start running away with this, but Furious Puppy, once they got online and started killing people, that was it. The game never came back for them. Player net worth, we can see that the Radiant side is much further ahead for the first 10 minutes. All the way up to this 10-minute mark, the Radiant heroes are all over the place. Especially if we take, for example, this one feels the most egregious. You've got all 3 Radiant cores at the top, and you've got Tiny below the Radiant supports. That's a huge inkling. But then with the kills and the kills, the Radiant, they just start slipping further and further away until they're not in the game anymore. Kunkka did manage to stay ahead of the Dark Willow, so it wasn't a 5-on-5 stomp. Was close to it. PA finished the PKB, but never actually got a chance to use it. Looking at a large amount of building damage split across all the heroes equally. Bristle, most hero damage, kills on everyone on the map. Definitely the MVP for me. One team was willing to ward, the other was not willing to ward, and that was all she wrote for this group stage game here. Next up, the second round, we'll see how different teams play off against each other, and we'll be keeping an eye on whether Furious Puppy or Cancer AI looks to be the winner of this group. Both teams taking the first game, looking quite strong, but it could still be anyone's group. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.